Well, we're joined now by the chairman of the Police Federation, Steve Williams. Thank you very much for coming in. Let me start with Andrew Mitchell. He's thanked you for the apology today, but he's also asked whether he could come and see you fairly speedily. Will you be prepared to see him?
Well, as Michael has just alluded to, there's still ongoing proceedings in relation to what we now know to be the Plebgate affair, and I think that they should run their course.
Now, what about the chairman of the most powerful branch of your police federation, Mr. Tully, who's the Metropolitan Police branch? He took a very, very strong role in these proceedings that we can't talk about, but nevertheless, what's going to be done about him? Well,
there are certain things within the review that highlight how we can perhaps in future deal with inappropriate behaviour and disciplinary matters. I'm not saying for 1 minute that Mr. Tully is guilty in any way of that, but it does give us, this is all about public trust and confidence in policing, and it's very important. There's been some quite high profile cases of late, such as the Plebgate, Hillsborough, and more recently, of course, Mark Duggan, the shooting, which has taken a knock on policing. But in relation to the announcement today of the independent review, it's quite clear that we as an organisation, as a police federation, we do need to change. Of those officers who responded to the survey, 91% of them said that we as an organisation need to change, and it's a golden opportunity for us, I think, to shape our future.
But there are 42% in that same polling that say they don't think you can change, and those are serving police officers.
I think that we have to embrace the change, and we have to look going forward as an organisation. There are clearly issues around finances that have been highlighted. I think we need to be more open and transparent, and the members need to see where we are spending their money and, in fact, where we are keeping their money. But we have 47 different setups within the Federation. We've got 43 branch boards around the country. We have 3 at the centre and a joint central committee, and me as the national chairman...
Well, and David Normington certainly talks about the absolute shambles that seems to be the construct of the way in which the Police Federation is constructed. But let's just look at the specific thing in which here is an independent report accepting that there has been a crusade, that's the word he uses, against the police, against politicians. And that may or may not be true of Andrew Mitchell. That issue is still being discussed. But that is a terrible thing to have said of the police.
Yeah, there are some stark findings within the review. But that said, I think we have to embrace them. We are a democratic organisation, and what we need to do now is, in our build-up to conference where we've said we take the findings of the review, it's my intention to visit all 43 forces across the country, speaking to my members, speaking to Federation people, speaking to chiefs and police and crime commissioners.
Well, I accept you are the new broom, and that's what you're going to try and do. But nevertheless, you have a huge mountain to climb. Money. Who knew that the Police Federation had £64 million, 30 separate secret accounts, really strange goings-on and a lack of transparency? How do you tackle that? That sounds institutional.
I couldn't agree with you more that we do desperately need to change, and in particular in relation to our finances. Myself as the national chairman had no idea as to how much money that we have as an organisation, and that cannot be right. We need to be open with our accounts, and the membership need to see exactly what we're doing with their money on their behalf.
Do you think there's any danger that actually some of your officials have actually been misdoing in terms of the money? Why this lack of transparency? What were they hiding?
No, I don't think so. But we are police officers at the end of the day, and we have to act with the utmost of integrity in everything that we do. And that's key to me as the chairman of the Police Federation of England and Wales.
Well, Steve Williams, thank you very much indeed for coming in.